This morning, we're reaching out to the Biltmore estate about their plans to reopen. Back on October 1st, the estate posted to Facebook, writing Biltmore will remain closed through at least today. We're checking to see if there is a clear timeline for reopening. We'll pass along any updates when we get them.
Also this morning, a Rutherford County man is now accused of making threats toward FEMA officials here in western North Carolina. These threats causing FEMA to pause operations momentarily over the weekend. Here's Sherelle Hubbard with the story.
In North Carolina, FEMA resumed door-to-door outreach to disaster survivors on Monday afternoon. That's after some FEMA operations were paused due to threats in some counties over the weekend. The pauses came amid a backdrop of misinformation about responses to recent storms.
Some of those stories just continue to persist at the cost of delivering needed resources to disaster survivors.
On FEMA.gov, it has a fact sheet. Myth: FEMA grant money is a loan that I will need to pay back. Fact: FEMA disaster relief are grants which do not need to be repaid. Myth: I'm a renter. I thought FEMA assistance was only for homeowners for home repairs. Fact: FEMA assistance is not just for homeowners. FEMA may provide assistance to help renters who lost personal property or who were displaced. Myth: FEMA asks for upfront payment to help fill out an application or perform an inspection. Fact: FEMA staff and inspectors never charge money for service.
We don't confiscate land. We don't have black helicopters. We don't have FEMA camps.
44-year-old William Jacob Parsons was arrested over the weekend after authorities said he made a comment about possibly harming FEMA employees working after the disaster of Hurricane Helene in the Lake Lurie and Chimney Rock area. They say he was armed with a handgun and rifle. FEMA said threats caused some FEMA offices to close temporarily. President Joe Biden touted the agency's recovery efforts in Tampa Sunday.
FEMA has delivered 1.2 million meals, over 300,000 liters of water.
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
Well, reporting how many still remain unaccounted for over 2 weeks after Helene is pretty difficult at best.
Yeah, News 13's investigative reporter Jennifer Emmert explains why the state does not have an accurate count right now, leaving families waiting for answers.
As the volunteers and rescue squads who mobilized in the days following Helene wind down, finding out who's still unaccounted for can be tough.
He loves it up there.
It's been 17 days since Katie Traina's family has heard from her brother Christopher.
He kind of bounces around the Asheville area, kind of just exploring the area.
Traina's family based in Florida was in touch with Chris days before the storm. He had a cell phone, but since the storm, nothing.
We just have to be hopeful and grateful that the time will come and they'll find him.
They've shared his picture on social media and reported him missing to the United Way and Red Cross. They're grateful for local, state, and federal search efforts and thousands of volunteer hours from organizations like the Buncombe County Rescue Squad.
There were thousands of cases that the Register of Deeds worked. We had less than 200 that made the escalated list.
Escalated because of the conditions.
Those are the ones that, there was a landslide, so you couldn't access. The bridge was washed out, so you had to hike in.
The majority they were able to locate.
The majority of them were either well cared for because they were, number one, prepared. They might be unaccounted for because they haven't been able to communicate with the outside world.
Those they couldn't reach remain on a list, now in the hands of the sheriff's office. That's where knowing how many still remain unaccounted for gets tricky. So many groups aided in the effort and have taken reports.
You've got the Asheville Police Department, you've got the Black Mountain Police Department, you've got the Sheriff's Department, you've got the State Bureau of Investigation. We had federal search and rescue, state search and rescue, local search and rescue.
Each had their own list, and until now, no one's tried to combine them or narrow it down.
We're getting to the point where we will have one list, but we're just not quite there yet.
That will take time, verifying each agency's list against the others and comparing them with the medical examiner's office. Time that seems like an eternity for families waiting for word.
Any information would be super helpful. And obviously, if anyone sees or spots him, just telling him that we're all searching for him back home. He's got a large support group.
For information and resources on individuals still unaccounted for, head over to our website at WLOS.com.
From the live desk now, new this morning, thousands of students in Henderson County will be back in the classroom. The school district announced that yesterday was a required teacher workday. The superintendent in Henderson County saying that decision gave educators the chance to prepare while giving the county's infrastructure a few more days to improve. Of the 23 school buildings, only one was damaged by Helene. School officials say Atkinson Elementary School was flooded and repairs there are still underway. Those students of Henderson County until that school is back open. This is a live picture from that building right now on Ash Street. School leaders say they know transportation will also be an issue for some. Family bus routes will be adjusted and some community bus stops will be used as well. And for students in Asheville and Buncombe County, also charter schools, a shortened school day is planned with the target return date of October 28th. That's the latest from the live desk.
And now to our top stories. Haywood County schools reopened today on a 2-hour delay. They will be open on a regular schedule starting tomorrow, Wednesday.
Also right now, Asheville City Schools hopes to reopen by October 28th. Buncombe County, however, does not have any sort of goal date at this time. Last week, the Buncombe County superintendent revealed half of the system's buildings do not have running water.